Day one, 10:30 a.m. I'm at the West Fork trailhead. I'm going to hike up the West Fork of the Gila River here, maybe 10 to 12 miles, kind of depending on how much mileage I get in before darkness. And then tomorrow I'm going to hike over to the Middle Fork, camp over at the Meadows, and then finally come out on day 3. So this is the Cliff Dwellings National Monument. The cliff dwellings are on the other side of that bridge and up the canyon there. I've been up there a few years ago, but currently, because it is Thanksgiving, everything is closed. So this is the first of many river fords that I'm going to have. This is the West Fork of the Gila River here. Okay, I'm 2.5 miles in. Been hiking for about an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm already deep in the canyon. There's a cliff dwelling way up on the hill there. So I've hiked 6.75 miles. It's been going really well. I'm actually going at a faster pace than I thought I would. Oh, look, there's a campsite right there. Beautiful campsite, but I want to get to about mile 8 or 9, and I'm sure there's great campsites up there. So it's going pretty well, averaging about 2 miles an hour, which is good with a full pack. So it's now about 4 o'clock. I did just under 9 miles today. I've got a really nice campsite. I've got the tent set up, and I've got the bear hang set up as well. Trying out some clothes. I'm gonna go grab some water from the river, and then I've got a nice fireplace here. I'm gonna go collect some firewood and hopefully have a fire tonight. So a little debrief on today. I got into camp about 3:30, and I did a total of about 9 miles today, which is about what I was hoping to get done. My pace was very good. I was going around 2 miles per hour, which is good. So tomorrow's going to be a bigger day. Tomorrow is going to be closer to 14 miles. So it's about 7:25 on the morning of day 2. I slept okay last night. There was a full moon. Obviously I'm down in the canyon here, and I haven't got direct sunlight. I'm probably 30 or 40 minutes from direct sunlight, but very peaceful here last night. I'm guessing I got down into the 20s, so just heated up some coffee, and I got some biscuits and gravy. Today I'm doing about 13 to 14 miles over to the Meadows. So I'm now at the bottom of Hell's Hole. I've been hiking for about 2 hours, covered just over 4 miles. So from here, it's about another 9 miles over to the Meadows, but I have to go up and over, up onto a plateau and then drop down. So just check the weather. My inReach says that there is no precip on the way, which is nice. So this is what I believe is my last river crossing of the West Fork for today. Now it's time to climb up and over to the Middle Fork. I'm at the top of Hell's Hole, so it's about 1.5 miles from the West Fork up to where I am, about 1,000 feet of climbing, and I am on the Woodland Park Trail, and I am going to head that way 1.5 miles to Woodland Park. So that body of water is what's called Woodland Park Tank, and I'm in Woodland Park right now. You can see there was a forest fire here. I don't know how long ago it was. So it's about 1 o'clock. It's a pretty grueling climb up from the West Fork, but I'm about maybe 5.5 to 6 miles from where I'm staying tonight at the Meadows. It's now 3 o'clock on day 2. I've hiked 13.5 miles and I've climbed about 2,000 vertical feet. And I am overlooking the Middle Fork of the Gila River. So about another mile to camp. I'm going to be right down in the river bottom there. Doesn't look like I'm going to have direct sunlight this afternoon, but I may get some sunlight from the east tomorrow morning. It's now 5 o'clock. I've got my camp set up. I'm down at the Meadows on the Middle Fork of the Gila River, waiting for my dinner to hydrate. And I've got the tent pitched. So today was very arduous. I did about 15.2 miles and just over 2,000 vertical feet. Tomorrow is going to be much shorter. I'm probably doing about 9.5 miles to get back to the West Fork trailhead. The one thing I did notice, especially when I was wayfinding my way up the West Fork, was that it's very difficult, especially when there are creek crossings. Not all the creek crossings have cairns at either side of the crossing. There was numerous times I lost the trail and I had to look at my GPS and scramble back up and to find the trail. Also, it doesn't get that much traffic, so there's many locations where it's overgrown with grass, so it's just a matter of finding logs that have been cut out by the Forest Service trail crew and finding those cairns, but also finding footprints from previous hikers. All right, morning of day 3, it's 8 o'clock. Got the campsite packed up. Slept okay last night. Had a pretty good fire, and the sky is overcast. I did have sun shining in half hour or so ago, so might even rain. I don't know. The forecast I looked at before I came said there was a 30% chance of rain and snow this morning, but then when I updated that yesterday, it said that there was 0% chance of precip. Well, the weather can change quick. It started raining about 5 minutes after leaving camp. It started snowing about halfway up from the campsite. So probably just over 7 miles until I can get back to the car. So not much else to report. Still hiking. It's been snowing and raining off and on for about the past hour and a half. I'm 3 miles from the junction with the West Fork Trail, so I'm starting to go down. The snow was starting to accumulate up at the top, and then as soon as I dropped down off the edge, kind of turned back into rain. Back at the junction with the Middle Fork, taking a little bit of a break. 2 miles left until the cliff dwellings. Rain's let up. The sun was out about a minute ago. All right, arriving back at the West Fork trailhead. Today was just over 4 hours, 9.25 miles. My car's still here. And with that,
that's the end of my Gila wilderness trip. 3 days and 31 miles.